What's up, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast with me, Trevor, and Kyle. Dude, I said that super fast.
It's all right. I'll slow it down.
It's like super mumbled.
You okay?
I mean, I guess so. But no, also I said it, and I realized how fast I said it, so my bad. But yeah, dude, what's up? What's new?
I don't know. I'm just kind of getting like weird vibes right now. So
I know.
Nothing's new. All is well. I was sick last week, but I'm better this week. I got on like an antibiotic and it cleared me up real quick. So
dude, you've had like a constant sinus infection, just crap in your head. It seems like.
Yeah. It's probably, I have like super bad allergies. So I went and did like an allergy test. And the doctor walks in and she's like, yeah, so we're just going to have you live in a bubble from now on. Cause I was literally like allergic to everything. And so I think that like plays into getting sinus infections, you know?
Probably doesn't help that you're in the humidity in Texas and probably have mold growing in your nose or something.
Oh, maybe.
Come back to the dry.
It's all the butt sniffing.
My oldest was yelling at my middle child the other day, like 2 days ago. And she's like, she's yelling at her. She goes, I'm going to freaking give you pink eye. And we're like, what? Like, what do you mean? She's like, my aunt said that if I fart on her pillow, she'll get pink eye.
What the
heck? And I was like, you're not freaking doing that. Like, don't even threaten that. But yeah,
dude,
anyways.
I don't know.
Good
I feel like our kids are getting older to where they're like doing stuff that it's hard to get mad at them at, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like at this point, like I've parented them to where they should know what's right or wrong. But like, for example, today, like my kid his friend came over and his friend has a phone, which don't get me started on that. You don't need to give a 10-year-old a phone, like a smartphone. Right. Give me a break. Anyways, they were like prank calling people. And I was just like laughing way hard because just a couple of 10-year-olds trying to prank call their friends. And I'm like, dude, like their phones have caller ID. They know it's you. And like the things you're saying are so not believable. I don't know. But it was just cracking me up because it was like, I'm not going to get mad at them for prank calling. Like, go ahead.
No,
you know,
that's awesome. I mean, like that. It's too bad they will never get to experience like that aspect of thing just because of where technology is today. So
yeah, but I used to like I used to go to like payphones and you could like what was it? 1-800 call. What was it? What was it?
Whatever like Carrot Top used to do.
Yeah, it was like 1-800-CALL. I don't remember what it was. If you don't, I can't remember. But anyways, I'd call and then people would answer and be like, you have a direct call from your mother's a whore, you know, and like people would accept, like I'm just like curse at them and stuff. And then people would accept the call and start yelling at me. And I'm just laughing because I'm like, dude, this is costing you money. Like, what are you hanging up the phone, dude?
No, for real. It's just, they'll never know. They won't even know what a payphone is. That's what's wild.
They don't. Like there was, we went like did this Halloween thing earlier this year and there was like a phone booth, you know, that was like they decorated it like haunted stuff. My kids are like, what's that? Like, it's a phone booth. What's a phone booth? So you used to like call people in those, you know, you used to actually have to go in and like put quarters in and dial a number. So
who was the actor who got stuck in the phone booth? And if he hung up, someone died. Was it Ethan Hawke who did that one?
I think I vaguely remember that movie.
You remember that show? I'm pretty sure it was called Phone Booth.
Phone Booth.
Like the clever names of the 90s. The clever thing. If you hang this up, I'm going to murder someone.
Yeah, it was that. Like Speed, you know, bro. Like, yeah, right. Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that like, I feel bad that my kids aren't going to appreciate, you know? Yeah. It's not the same. Yeah. You can't even really get in trouble anymore because you either like these kids either do stuff that's like way stupid, like
Right.
way
Over
stupid,
the top. Yeah.
over the top, and then they like actually mess their life up, or they do like a harmless prank and people overreact and bad stuff happens. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
it's a big bummer, but well, I mean, anything anything else new? Music, tours. I know
uh,
we literally just talked about it, and there's probably not
so
much, but
there's a couple like smaller bands that I found like were new to me that like I personally discovered for me. Iron Grip. I don't know if you listened to that song today.
I haven't yet.
It's pretty cool. It's like kind of chaotic-y. It's like chaotic, but there's like a little bit of like deathcore thrown in. I don't know.
Okay.
It's pretty cool stuff. And then there's this band from Dallas. I can't hold on. Let me find their. Do you remember their name? I don't remember how to say their name because it's one of these like Balmora type metalcore. Acada. ACED or Acadia. Acadia. I don't know, dude. It's I feel like such a dumbass having to spell this, but look, that's the problem with these band names nowadays. If I can't, like, if an idiot like me can't pronounce your name, like, what are we doing? Acedya. Acadia?
I don't know.
Acadia. It's got to be Acadia. Isn't Acadia like a word? Isn't it like a tree or something?
Is it just the one song? Removed a promise, kept a pack.
I
Is
think it's a
that it?
couple songs. Acadia. Jeez. No,
DFW metalcore.
it is just
Okay.
that song. I guess it's on there. Anyways, it's like, dude, it's I Killed the Prom Queen reincarnate, and I like it more. They're like I just found them because obviously like all the DFW bands were posting about it and stuff. But I actually was kind of I talk a lot of crap on this type of metalcore because I'm kind of done with it. But I really appreciate this guy's vocals because it's like lower. I Killed the Prom Queen, not the like Balmora really high, like whiny scream almost.
It's more of like a mid tone
Yeah,
because he's not going deathcore. He's not doing lows, but he's not doing the high haste the day
yeah.
era. Yeah.
Which is why
Which
like I was a little more okay with it, right?
I mean, honestly, we're talking It Dies Today,
Mm-hmm.
today, and this fits very. This is very reminiscent of what like those types of bands were doing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, this is
absolutely.
sick.
So it's cool, man. I hope they can take off a little bit. I do think that like this metalcore sound is a little overdone right now, but I would take this over the like slam stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I like it. I think it's dope. I think it's fun. Um, there was one band that we were texting back and forth about that was doing like some of like it almost sounded like Burden of a Day meets they're only chasing safety. I don't remember what band that was that we were talking about, but I sent it to Josh, our buddy, and he went and watched a bunch of the live videos. He's just like, dude, they can't even perform. So we're not going to shout them out, but because I don't want to talk too much crap.
We're not gonna
Uh,
flame them on here, but yeah.
but
Looking
like,
at you. Just kidding.
if as long as you can play, as long as you can perform, like I'm cool with it. If it's back to the 2006 to 2008 where you sounded good on an album, but you can't actually play your instruments or make it sound good live, like
So it's funny you bring that up because I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit when we talk
all
about It
right,
Dies Today. So
well, dope. Well, I mean, should we jump into it? I don't have anything else.
okay, that's fine.
Dope.
I don't either. It's beginning of the year. It's slow for this kind of stuff because everyone. The only tour that I saw was the Rise Against tour that has Koyo on it.
Yeah.
But like most of the dates are in Canada. There's like a few like northern U.S.
Yeah.
dates, but
I mean, like our friend group, we were messaging about the Devil Wears Prada 4 Year Strong show. I might end up going out to that. I'm actually pretty excited for I Promise the World, so I actually think that would be a fun show to go see. So
yeah,
that's in March out here,
cool.
so I might go catch that one.
Yeah.
But
Oh, Crowbar and I Hate God
oh yeah,
announced some dates. I know they're playing Salt Lake. I I messaged my boss and I was like, "Yo, you want to go to this with me?" So we'll
Yeah.
see. He might come, but
It was funny because I started a new job, and one of the guys there, I found out he's listening to metal, and so we've been talking back and forth. And like the week before, he's like, "Dude, I've got some new bands to show you. Like my uncle is all into this stuff, and he showed me like there's a band called like I Hate God, like all this stuff." I'm like, "Oh, sick! Like, so have you listened to Crowbar?" He's like, "Who's Crowbar?" I'm like, "Go put it on, bro." Like
yeah,
so. But he was all into the I Hate God stuff, so I think that I might slip out to that one with
cool.
him. So
Yeah, I think I saw Spirit Adrift might be opening or playing some dates. Maybe it's
I
just
think
Texas
they're
dates.
playing the
But
San Antonio. I don't think
yeah,
they're like
bummer. That'd be
touring with
sick.
them.
That'd be a great freaking show, dude.
Yeah, it'd be
So,
super sick. So,
one band for new music that we forgot that I want to make sure we call out is the new Die Young single.
oh yeah,
That
it's
it's
the
got
cover
yeah, and it's got the bass
bass player.
player from Realms of Death
Yeah,
doing vocals in it too. It was cool.
yeah.
It was cool.
Which their new music coming out is a split with Liberty and Justice, right? I think
Die
that's what I.
Young or Realms of Death?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, no,
Die
Diane.
Young. I didn't know that. That's sick because Liberty and Justice slaps too. So,
I'm fairly certain that's what I read
nice.
off of the article that was written for it. So yeah, dude,
Well, that's
gonna
dope.
be freaking dope. But anyways, oh, last thing I'll say, Cherem, they're
Mm.
playing their comeback show on February 10th. I've got an extra ticket. I don't know if anyone's listening to this who could utilize the extra ticket, but if you are and you message me, it's yours. Otherwise,
I
I'm
guess
gonna
we'll
be
see who really listens.
otherwise I'm gonna be posting it coming up here in a couple of weeks because I think
Nice.
that's on February 10th or February 11th. I think is the date. I don't remember. I'll have to double check the actual date. But yeah, I've got an extra ticket to that. So
Sick.
you heard it here first. If you message me, save yourself $12. I've got you. I've got you.
Yeah.
So no,
Cool.
I'm stoked for
That'll be
that.
a fun show.
It will be a fun show. That has Forever War, Absolved, and I'm sorry, fourth band who I'm blinking right now.
You have a lot of bald guys there, probably a lot of dudes with back problems. A lot of
That's
lot of coming out of Mosh retirement for that, you know.
dude. That's the thing is it's going to be all the old guys. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Sewn Shut. Yep. So Forever War, Sewn Shut, and Absolved with Cherim.
That's like Salt Lake All Stars, man. That's
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. No, it's gonna be sick. And Aftermath of a Train Wreck is playing a small set in Idaho Falls, coming up in February as well. So go freaking support that one because
Yeah,
that's
that's crazy too.
wild.
Yeah.
We were talking, I mean, like, this is like the stories that we used to listen to growing up is about these bands. So it's wild that they're coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, dope. Well, we'll jump into it. Let's not take up too much of this night, whatever. Uh,
It's
we're
four
gonna talk.
o'clock. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, Trevor. I want to go to bed. Get to the point.
Come on, man. If you're listening to us at 2 o'clock in the morning, that is a big problem. Uh, we're talking to Dice today, and this was recommended by you, and somehow I got roped into running this, but I'm just kidding. I'm totally good with it. So, just like, where to start with It Dies Today? Like, what do you remember? What is your first memory of them? For me, It Dies Today was the very scene heavy band with Bleeding Through and 18
Mhm.
Visions. Like, those were the three where it was like, these guys are super heavy, but they had like the eyeliner and stuff. Like all the metalcore, they all had the swoopy hair and tight pants or whatever. But like It Dies Today, Bleeding Through, and 18 Visions took it to another level. They added the makeup, they did a little bit more. Like they had the look to it, which I think number one landed them on a thing like Ozzfest,
Yeah.
right? Number two gets picked up by uh what was the video game that they were on? Freaking
I don't
what's
remember.
this? The zombie game, Resident Evil.
Resident
Resident
Evil.
Evil.
Okay.
And then part of their song is in Jennifer's Body, that vampire movie, right? I think like number one, the music's super dope. They were
Yeah.
super heavy, super aggressive, maybe have one of like the best metalcore albums that was overshadowed because of like a Kill Switch Engage to come out in the early 2000s. Uh, but I think that their look played a huge part into them actually gaining some traction
Yeah.
and establishing themselves.
So it is interesting because I mean the Caitiff Choir comes out 2004.
Yeah.
That's like way earlier than I remember. I don't know why
Yeah.
I felt like it was later than that. This is like way earlier. And like I do think it's interesting some of these bands at this time, like Bleeding Through and these guys that definitely played up the like scene look more,
Mm-hmm.
but weren't necessarily scene bands, right? When I think scene bands, I'm thinking like From First to Last, crap like that. But like
Yeah.
these guys have ties to the hardcore scene. Same with Bleeding Through, right? It's just interesting how like it's the pinnacle of like you can be part of the hardcore scene, you can be a hardcore kid and not like you don't have to look a certain way or play a certain music. Like it's a lot more than that, right?
Yeah.
Because like I mean, these guys sing. How many people talk shit on bands that sing, especially metalcore ones? Like, but I'm looking at like some of their concerts and stuff, dude. And like 2004, they're playing with like Martyr AD. I mean, it is a Bleeding Through, Walls of Jericho, Martyr AD, dude. I would kill for that show.
That's
You
a
know,
crazy
like I
lineup.
would
Yeah.
kill for that show. And it, but it's that's like the perfect lineup for what they were. Because even then, you get into Martyr AD, and it's like a little scene-ish. You know,
Yeah,
Walls of
sure.
Jericho, a little scene-ish, but it's like great, no fluff, like just corn-fed, purebred, like metalcore. You know, it's great. It's
Yeah.
great. So
They're like, for me, it felt like there was a little bit of a distinction. There's bands like this, like It Dies Today, like Bleeding Through and stuff like that. But then there was like Atreyu, who
Bullet for My Valentine and
Bullet for My Back, like, but like those are bands who, from the outside, probably seem like the same band. You know what I mean? They're gonna be cut from the same cloth. And maybe early Atreyu was a little bit more, but then you look at like an Avenged Sevenfold, who immediately catapult themselves into arena style and into the limelight. Like Avenged Sevenfold was probably the biggest metalcore act that came out at that time, right? Like in
yeah.
terms of like draw.
I don't know. I mean, there's like old. You listen to like Old Lamb of God, like that's metalcore.
But they're even those guys though are a
Like
little bit
Kill Switch
different.
too, though. Kill Switch is freaking huge.
Yeah, I don't know. I always just remember like
No, you're
videos
probably
of
right with
like
Avenged
Avenged
though.
Sevenfold were like that's what every single kid, every kid who said that they listened to metal had an Avenged Sevenfold t-shirt.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like they were probably like the metalcore version of like Slipknot at the time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Every
Okay.
like new metal kid had like a Slipknot t-shirt. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
it's kind of like an equal comparison. But all those bands aesthetically were kind of similar. I don't know, what the ambitions of It Dies Today was or were at the time, but they like they didn't get to that level.
Right.
Even though they have again arguably one of the best early 2000s metalcore albums
Yeah.
in the Caitiff Choir.
So, the Caitiff Choir. I don't know if I said Caitiff. Yeah, the Caitiff
Dude,
Choir.
I've called the Caitiff Choir my entire life. I
Yeah,
think that was just what we called it.
it's
So
a freaking Mandela effect or whatever.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Like,
I could have
yeah.
sworn there was an L in that thing. So
We just can't read. So,
fair. Fair.
um, I'll be honest. Like, I like It Dies Today, and you're right. Like, this was my suggestion. Talk about these guys. When I think of this kind of metalcore, though, like Haste Today was the band that like did it for me, right? But the way that like going back and listening to It Dies Today, especially where I'm at now musically, like I really gravitate towards this because there's no like cheap, like there's no frills to it. There's no fluff. There's no like it's just straight up metalcore. Like I want to tell all these like modern metalcore bands that are turning into octane core, like you don't have to do that. Like
Yeah.
look at these metalcore bands that sing that aren't you guys. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
look at It Dies Today. Look at Haste Today. Look at even some of the like As I Lay Dying before the trying to kill your wife stuff. Like it wasn't cheesy. It wasn't overdone. It wasn't lame. Like it was
Yeah.
just singing that was part of the music. And like it was great. And like I listen to this now and I appreciate it way more. Cause it's like this is metalcore that's not like Earth Crisis heavy metalcore, but like I can still enjoy it, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. So the one thing I will say about that comment you just made, though, is I do think that they did attempt somewhat to gain some additional traction in like Sirens. And then obviously you have Nick dip after Sirens. And Lividity even takes that almost like a step higher. Like
Yeah,
it was as, I don't want to say this without sounding condescending because I even text you. It Dies Today didn't put out a single bad album, but Lividity is the most generic of the metalcore
sure.
sounds, in my opinion, of what was going on in 2009. It was like, it was obviously the next step. It was the natural progression, what they were doing. But you put this up to, like you said, Haste the Day. What was coming out at that time? Attack of the Wolf King. That
Yeah,
was probably
probably.
2008. Very similar. Very
Yep.
similar sounding.
Yeah.
Even if you want to go to like No Bragging Rights, who put out the, what's the one where
Illuminator.
he, Illuminator,
Yeah.
it's probably very similar
Yeah.
sounding.
You know what though? Like, and this is the big, like, this is the reason why we did this podcast is because I think at the time, right? Like, we look at bands like Poison the Well, we look at bands like From Autumn to Ashes, and in the moment in 2009, like, we did not give these proper chance. Like, I think there was immaturity on our front because, you know, we were getting into deathcore, we were getting into like some pretty heavy hardcore. And to us, like at that moment, it was just like, hey, who's the heaviest? And it's funny, we talk a lot of crap on like the kids nowadays that are getting into all the slam and beatdown. And it's like, that's exactly what we did. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, we got into all the deathcore stuff, right? But like, I go back and listen, like we've done an episode on Poison the Well, we've done an episode on From Autumn to Ashes, and you go back and you listen to their later albums and you're like, these are actually really good.
Yeah.
You know, like that's my fault. That's not their fault that like I didn't listen to them. That's my fault. You know,
Right.
like this is great music. And It Dies Today is the exact same. Like you're right, man. Like Sirens and Lividity, sure, maybe like especially in Lividity, there's a little bit of like they tried to do the mainstream sound, but like I will take the mainstream sound from 2009 for metalcore than the mainstream sound for metalcore in 2026. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I would take that over what's going on now 100% of the time, you
Yeah.
know, because it's still just good. Like it's just good, like rock metalcore, you know, like,
Right.
you know, it
Right.
still is enough of what you like, you knew they used to be, where now it's like you barely even recognize some of this music that's coming out, you know?
Right. Agreed. Agreed. So, okay, well, let's get into this a little bit. So, these guys come out, it's like 1998 that they get together. They're 16 at the time that It Dies Today uh, forms. And I was listening to an interview today with Nick Brooks, the vocalist, and he said by the time he was a senior in high school, they had a full touring schedule.
Hmm.
I didn't realize that these guys were this young
Yeah.
when they did all of this. So 98, I think, is they start playing music together. I think what he was saying is 2001 is when It Dies Today was actually kind of born, is kind of the sounds of it. It sounds like they had kind of a hardcore more along the lines of like Hatebreed, Connecticut style, like 100 Demons, Hatebreed, all that kind of stuff that they were doing prior to that. And then one of their guitarists went off to college. And so they started something new. And that's where It Dies Day comes. And they put this together after going to Hellfest,
Mm.
the Trustkill Hellfest.
Yeah.
And so that
Which
was
they're
like,
playing again, by the way.
yeah, yeah. I mean, It Dies Today is arguably one of the biggest Trustkill bands,
Yeah.
right? So, um, which who else is like Trustkill is currently, I think Bayway, I think, is currently with Trustkill. Nick's other project, um,
Is it
Frozen
Frozen Ground?
Ground, yep,
Yeah.
is currently on Trustkill. But yeah, we'd have to go back through. Dude, Bed Light for Blue Eyes was Trustkill.
Oh, seriously?
Remember that band? Dude, that
I
band
actually
was so
do remember
sick.
that band because I just listened to. There's literally only one song of theirs that I like, and it's the Ephemeral Addictions.
Okay.
That's the only song. I don't like anything else from them. That's the only one.
Okay. But dude, I
Anyways.
mean, Trustkill was like the metalcore label, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're going through this, you had Throwdown, you had Terror, you had Shai Hulud, who we've talked about. Poison the Well was on Trustkill at one point in time. Most Precious Blood. And then
Walls of
if you're going
Jericho.
like Disembodied, freaking heavy ass band, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were the go-to kind of metalcore, right? Um, and as I'm going through this, maybe there were a few bigger bands than It Dies Today, but arguably for what they did in terms of like getting into movies, getting onto video games, maybe not. Maybe they were the biggest. But anyways, so they come out, they put out the EP Forever Scorned. This just got a vinyl repress. The original recording was with Life Sentence Records.
Hmm.
And we've been talking to Dan Gump, who was the vocalist for Excessive Force, who just played FYA, which we should have talked about FYA before this. FYA looked freaking sick.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
unfortunately, we weren't there. But they put out the Forever Scorned EP. And dude, it is good, man. Like, I've listened to this a few times because I was debating on whether or not to buy the repress, and
Mm-hmm.
I never ended up pulling the trigger. But the song lengths, you've got like the shortest song on here is 3 minutes and 55 seconds. The longest song is 5 minutes and 38 seconds.
It's a 30-minute EP.
It's a 30-minute 6-song EP.
It's wild, dude.
Dude, how many times over the last year have we been like, dude, it's 5 or 6 songs, you can listen to it in 12 minutes and you're done.
I know. Yeah.
Like, you
Average
can't even
song
listen,
like a minute 40. You
can't even listen to half of this EP in the average time of most of the EPs we're listening to these days. But it's cool. I mean, like, there's a different feel to something like that. Like, it almost takes you on a little bit more of like a listening experience. You listen to the actual song Forever Scorned, which is, it gets heavy, it gets gnarly and nasty. Bloodstained Bedsheet Burden. Like, those two songs back to back are just phenomenal. And it is arguably the heaviest that It Dies Today goes. Because after this, they start leaning into the melodic. So I didn't know about this EP really that long ago. Like, it's probably honestly once it was announced kind of thing. Like, my first experience is the Caitiff Choir with these guys. But I mean, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I think it's tight. I mean, like, this is exactly the metalcore that got me and you into heavy music. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all the like tempo changes, all the like riffs, all the like really funny breakdowns where it like does the riff and then it just like stops and then like does the riff slower, and then all of a sudden you get like a pinch harmonic and then like even slower riff. Like, yeah, dude, it's tight, it's heavy, and it's just like I know it's hard to say, but it's just fun. Like, it's just fun metalcore, right? Like, It keeps you on your toes. And this is what metalcore was at like this time. Like I think people were really starting to kind of push because like Earth Crisis is sick, but like sometimes it was just chugs and then some like riffs and then chugs and then, you know what I mean? Like this was
Yeah.
like I think people really started to like kind of experiment more on what this genre can be and you know maybe it
Yeah.
got pushed too far. Jurassic Park, like did we should have asked why instead of how. But like this EP, if people want just like good old school, like borderline between deathcore, metalcore, like just heaviness, this is like a perfect EP. Might as
And
well just say album. It's freaking 30 minutes, so it's like let's do it real
sure,
quick.
sure. I will honestly say I prefer the original recording to the re-recording because they did re-record this and re-release it with, I
Okay.
want to say, like a second cut of the Caitiff Choir. I think they did like a package of old and current and like put like a 17 song album together
Mhm.
as kind of a re-release, and they did remaster Forever Scorned, or they full on re-recorded it is what it seems like. um I prefer the 2002 version. Kind of that almost feels like it was recorded in a basement kind of
Yeah.
feel to it. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy stuff like that. Like the production quality just goes a little bit up on the 2005 re-recorded. Um but I like it, man. I like the original 2002 EP. Like if you're going to listen to it, put yourself in a time machine, go back to like 2002,
Yeah.
So
What's crazy is like I can guarantee you that August Burns Red Thrill Seekers is influenced by this album 100%.
I that's usually
It's
something
gotta
I
be.
look at is like bands who are influenced by other bands. 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's got to be like a lot of that stuff, especially anyone who is from up kind of that northeast area. August Burns Red's not. They're from Cali, right?
No, they're from
Where are
Ohio or
they
something
from?
like that. Aren't they from the
Oh, are they?
Midwest?
I don't remember. I don't
I swear they're
remember
from like
August
the
Burns Red.
Midwest.
Anyways,
What's
I mean,
interesting though is
probably
like
there.
freaking As I Lay Dying 94 Hours, the album with that.
Uh huh.
That's 2003.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what EPs were looking like for As I Lay Dying before that, but I'm just saying like It Dies Today might be one of the like biggest metalcore bands that are considered underrated.
Yeah. I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
they were earlier to the game than they probably
Yeah.
got credit
For
for.
this
You know
type of
what I mean?
metalcore,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
100%. So super dope, super sick. They tore on this for a while and then they put out the Caitiff Choir. This album, I think I got it in 2006. I think I actually picked this up when I picked up Sirens at the same time. And so maybe that's why we felt like it was later than it was,
man,
if that kind of sounds
yeah.
right. Also, I went through and I was looking at the tour history. Like 2006 is when they came through with Poison the Well, Still Remains, and Shadowfall and played up at the Ogden Theater. Like, pretty sure that was a show that I don't know if I was there, but I'm pretty sure that like our friend group went to. Do you remember that one? Because you saw Poison the Well up there, didn't you?
I do. It makes me feel like I was at this.
Right.
But because I remember seeing like Shadows Fall and Throwdown.
Oh
Were they
wait,
on there? Maybe that's a different
this
tour.
was. It says it was at Avalon. Actually, maybe I
Yeah, I was
was
gonna say
here.
it wasn't in Ogden.
Maybe I was at this one then. Yeah, Poison the Well, Himsa, Still Remains, Shadowfall, It Dies Today.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So, and I believe that they were the headliners, if I remember. Uh, but so that's 2006. So this is when like we probably kind of caught them.
Yeah.
Maybe we found out a little bit before this, but we probably kind of figured out who they were around Sirens is probably what it was. But the Caitiff Choir was always the album that I went to. That was the album, like even to this day. So you know how like Cars as the CD players get older, they like get more picky about the CDs they'll read,
Yeah.
like the Bird ones
Yeah.
specifically. For some reason, It Dies Today, Caitiff Choir is like one of the only burn CDs that my dad's car will read. So I actually have It Dies Today in my dad's car. It's been in there for like 3 years. And whenever I'm driving it around, I'll turn on It Dies Today, the Caitiff Choir. Like it's
That's sick.
so freaking good.
It is
Um,
good.
very clearly, I remember the intro here, the My Promise. It's
Hmm.
just a breakdown, but it opens up slow and it's just him going, oh, like right at the beginning, and
Yeah.
then it's just like the breakdown. I don't know why. I freaking love just the opening breakdown to this album. It's so good, so sick. What do you remember about Caitiff Choir?
So there's a few songs that like when I went back and listened to it, because you're right. I think we must have like I don't remember buying it. I feel like we must have like lime wired it. Statute of
Oh yeah.
limitations, we're good. We must have like lime wired it or something. So like and we probably it was probably like track one, track two, track three, like I don't know song names. They're probably like not in order or anything too, but I definitely remember My Promise. But like when I went back and listened to this, like I remember Our Disintegration,
Yeah.
like the chorus of it. Like the first time I went back and listened to this and I heard that chorus, I instantly remembered the words and was singing along to it, you know? And so like that Nania, I don't know if that's how you say it. Like that song too, instantly remember the chorus. 100% instantly remember the chorus. And so I don't know, man, being like 15, 16 or whatever, like getting into these guys, like we were still not fully into like super heavy music, right? Like the heavier music that was in my rotation was like Poison the Well, Finch from Autumn to Ashes, So it was like stuff that sang and screamed, Haste the Day. Like I remember listening to this and being like, this is exactly what I'm into. Like this
Yeah.
fits perfect. And
Yeah.
it's true. I don't know that there's a bad song on this album. Maybe the 7 minute, 40-second one, just because like, come on. But honestly, it is like one of the most well-known metalcore albums, but still one of the most underrated albums out there, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I actually really like his clean singing on this. Some of the bands they did a little bit higher clean singing and stuff. He has a little bit of a lower register. I like that. Like severed ties yield severed heads. Like that the chorus, it's the way she looks at me, collects the head of
Yeah.
everyone. Like that was a thing that like I've always remembered. Like that is one. Uh they're they're naughty. They're naughty for modern romance.
A
Do we
Threnody.
we already said we can't read. So, track number 5,
Track
that's
5.
another one. That was the, song that they did the music video for. So this is, like, very popular, but it has the big soaring choruses
Yeah.
and the really heavy breakdowns that are very staccato-y, and the drums are just so crisp. The double bass is so crisp. It's so aggressive and so nasty. And then, like, again, going back to the aesthetics, like watching the music video here where they're in like their white button up shirts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
They're like swinging their guitars around. Like, it is just so much an early 2000s metalcore. Like,
Yeah.
it just slotted in perfectly. So, yeah, I
You
don't
know,
know.
I know I kind of said this before, but like nobody care. Like people in the hardcore scene, I think get a bad rap because they talk a lot of crap on bands that sing. The issue is not singing. There's plenty of like hardcore metalcore bands that sing that are fine. You know what I mean? The reason why I think bands like Haste Today, It Dies Today, for the most part from Autumn to Ashes, but you look at like Evergreen Terrace, like these are all bands that like sing, but they don't sing like somebody's squeezing their nuts, and it's like super high pitched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these guys just sing normal. Like it's fine. Like just sing normal. There's not all this like crap to it. You're not, trying to be like Craig Owens and crap like that's where I think a lot of people started to be like, dude, I can't do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna talk crap on like the singing It Dies Today because they do it so well. And it just if it still fits the song, it doesn't throw it off. It's not like I don't know how to say this without coming off like a huge dick, but like some of these metalcore bands that sang, it was like, what are you doing? Is that like a 13-year-old girl singing? You know what I mean? Like
They
how high
started
pitched they are. Like it just gets so whiny and like it felt way too like I don't know. I don't know.
I I feel like it is more the fact that they don't sound like professional vocalists.
Yeah.
Like I can sing along it with this. Like, and I'm not a singer. Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It feels like the everyday man
This is everyday
metalcore.
man's metalcore singers. I like that,
It's the everyday
dude.
man. So it's one of those things where like it wasn't like overly pushed. It wasn't like they tried too hard. Like
Yeah.
there were a lot of vocalists who once they really started singing, like people loved really good vocalists. You know what I mean? And like, listen, shout out like those really good vocalists. But I feel like in this style of metalcore, just give me something I can sing along to.
Yeah.
Like, make sure it's not just terrible, right? But give
Yeah.
me something I can just sing along to. And I
Yeah.
feel like they nail it on these albums.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this is a great album, dude. Like I had a ton of fun listening to it. And again, it's like I can listen to this band and not feel one way or the other, you know? Like it's not really like I'm not gonna put it on and be like, oh, this is too heavy. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna put it on and be like, no, I need something heavier. Like it's literally such a good in between, you
Yeah.
know? It's the everyday man's metalcore. There's something for everyone in here.
That's
You know?
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, no, it's super sick, super dope. So they tour on this album for a couple years, then they go over and they record Sirens. And my understanding is they basically record Sirens, they go on an initial tour, and that's when Nick drops. So like he basically I think he did one tour on this album and then he dipped is kind of my understanding. Between Caitiff Choir and Sirens, do you remember which one you listened to more or which one you have more memory of? Because like you talked about some of those things up front.
It's definitely the Caitiff Choir.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember Sirens as much.
Okay. I know for a fact I listened initially to way more Sirens.
Okay.
But like I said, with a broken CD player, you kind of make do with what you got. So I've listened to more Caitiff Choir, but like I go through and where I was saying, I think that they attempted to go a little bit more mainstream, try to kind of push themselves. Is you listen to the song The 6th of June. And listen, man, I am you're laughing because you think I'm about to talk shit. But I'm actually opposite. I think this song is freaking
Dude,
awesome. And it is
I 100% agree with you.
and it is the most radio rock song
Yeah.
that they've ever written. Out of anything they've done. 6th of June is the one that's gonna be like a dude with like a bandana is like holding a beer headbanging too. Like that
Yeah.
this is their Jim Bro song is 6th of June, in my opinion.
But again, like, got to remember this is 2006, man. Like, not a lot of bands are doing it like this. Right? Because even like you look at bands like the Devil Wears Prada, like I get like from a like if you looked at them, you'd be like, yeah, these are the same band. But musically, it's different enough though, and maybe it's just me looking at it differently as I'm older. But like this is probably why they fell off a little. So I think there's a couple reasons why they fell off, and we'll just get into it right now. But like one, I think that like a lot of the people when you got into more of the like radio rock type stuff, like when did Roots Above, whatever that Devil Wears Prada
Branches
album.
Below.
Yeah, when did that come out?
I'm gonna say 2007, 2008.
I guess what I'm saying is like if I'm a scene kid, that's 2009. Plagues is 2007 actually.
Oh,
Still,
interesting. Okay. Yeah.
if I'm a scene kid, I'm listening to that. I'm not listening to Sirens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think they lost momentum because of that. I think it's the same with From First to Last, or From Autumn to Ashes. I think it's the same with Poison the Well. Like, I just think these guys started so early, and the crowd that should have gotten into them were taken over by Attack Attack, by the Devil Wears Prada, by like the actual
Okay.
scene stuff. You know?
But you say that, and this is the crap that we got people talk crap on my thrice take on the last episode where I said, where did you fall off with them? Because people were saying if you grew up with them, you never fell off. And I almost feel like It Dies Today was in that same bucket. In 2002, you are listening at 16, 18 years old, you're listening to the heavy borders on deathcore Forever Scorned album. Next, you're progressing into the metalcore aspect of Caitiff Choir, but that's 2 years later, so you're 20. So now we're 2 more years removed, so you're 22 to 24. And you're not us at 17, 18 listening to this album. You're 22, 24 in college.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I don't know, man.
okay. Here's the thing though. Like, this comes out 2006, October 2006. So end of 2006, coming up on 2007. 2007, they play 159 shows. That's pretty dang good, right?
Yeah.
After 2007, they don't play more than 31 ever again.
Yeah.
So like
Because
I get
I,
this, I get what people are saying, right, about Thrice, of like, if you grew up with them, you stuck with them, you listen through their sound change. And even then, like, we could argue that take all day long, right? Because like, I've been to a ton of Thrice shows throughout the years, and I'm not seeing the same guys at those shows ever, right? Like if you're showing up Thrice during Beggars and Major Minor, I'm probably not. I probably didn't see you an artist. Like, honestly, I didn't. You know what I mean? Unless you're like the few diehard fans that like did, and the people commenting on our post are probably like
or
the
probably the few
diehard fans,
diehard.
right?
That's
And
fair.
that's fine.
Okay.
The majority of the people I can tell you aren't, because that's the experience of everyone that we've talked to. It Dies Today. Like, the numbers don't lie, man. Like 159 shows in 2007 is a lot. You're riding off of a brand new album. People love the Caitiff Choir. Like, some of the bands you're playing with, like, maybe are like, you're torn with like Atreyu and Haste Today. Like, those bands might be pulling more of a crowd than It Dies. I don't know. Like, I don't remember that super well in 2007. I don't know if I saw that. All I'm saying is that like I don't think I do think this falls off. Like, I do think this falls off really hard because you quit touring after that, and you probably quit touring because I don't think people are listening, which is a shame because these are great albums, you know.
Well, also the vocalist drops, right? And I
And that
think,
was the other point.
and you've been doing this since you're 16. Like, this is all that they know growing from literally like the most formative years of their lives to this point, and then being like, well, what's next, kind of thing. Again, Sirens gets you into Resident Evil, it gets you into Jennifer's Body, it gets you into all this stuff. Like, think about Set Your Goals. Like, after they put out Death of Us, they were on video games, they were in TV shows, like stuff like that. It floundered. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something that happens behind the scenes, and it'd be interesting to ask this. If there's something that happens behind the scenes where all of a sudden the label's like, dude, we just pushed you guys hella freaking hard and we didn't get the pop.
Yeah.
And I
So
wonder if something happens.
maybe I think, I mean, AFI, when they did the interview with Hardlore, Davey Havoc kind of talks a little bit about when you get big enough that it becomes a business to the labels, right? And how they
Yeah.
influence stuff. And we know that caused a problem with Set Your Goals because of all the issues they ran into with the rights to their music, right?
Yeah. Trying to
So
get
like,
out of those.
yeah, I know that causes issues. So I mean, I don't know like if that happened with It Dies Today. I did read like a couple posts online of people asking like why didn't they get bigger? And a lot of people were saying because they weren't good live. Now, I feel like that's a cop out. And I wanted to ask you that. Like, what is your like limit or threshold on how bad a band is live before you say, like, yeah, I'm not going to go to that?
I mean, like, here's the bottom line: is I know I saw It Dies Today at least twice, at
Yeah.
least, probably more than that, but at least twice, and I didn't leave there being like they are a bad band. You know what I mean? Like, sure, maybe it's not the album quality, but I guess it depends on what you're going to the show for,
Hmm.
right? And so, one thing I want to point out is like we just talked about that 2006 show was Poison the Well, Hymns That Still Remain, Shadow Fall. That's a very metal show,
Yeah.
very metal. The next show they come with later in 2006 is Silverstein, Aiden, Scary Kids, these guys in the Stick Up. Like, it's two very different
Yeah.
crowds.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe they got caught in between something. I don't think people can talk and say like they weren't good live. No one cares. They were there to mosh. Like they were there for their
And that's what I'm saying,
breakdowns.
dude. And that's what I'm saying is like it's a cop out to say that like they're not good live, especially because like, dude, like go to hardcore shows, man.
Yeah.
Bands sound like crap live, but that's the fun of it, right? Because again, like, okay, the dude can't sing cleans very well live. Well, then give me the mic.
Right.
I'll
Or
do
just
it.
put it in the crowd.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
suck at singing. I'll take the heat for it, man. Like they can all make fun of me for singing. Like I don't care, but like maybe that's the problem with some of these bands is like maybe they get this like acceleration into popularity and they maybe think like, oh, we can do it. And then like you've been screaming since you were 16 and like you
Yeah.
probably weren't doing it the right way and
Well,
burned the shit out of
and
your vocals and like now
listen,
you can't do it live.
I
But
mean,
like, I'm not going for that. I don't care. Like, my threshold on a band sucking and not seeing them is like I
it's
can
pretty dang
tolerate a lot.
high.
Man. Yeah, I can. I mean, I've sat through some like bad sets, but they were bands that mattered to me, and I sang along. I couldn't even hear them singing because I'm singing the words. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's a
Right.
cop out to me. I don't like. People might believe that, but I don't like that. Sorry, what were you saying?
No. That's a totally fair point. I wonder how much of that though stems from them being on Ozzfest, being in a different stage where the vocal performance matters a lot more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's dude. That's. I mean, again,
Be-
not I'm not trying to fight people on this podcast, but like you get into like a more pretentious crowd that like cares
Dude, you're on
very
there.
much about the sound quality of that stuff. And yeah, maybe they are like, don't go see It Dies Today. They suck live.
2005 when they're on this is Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Velvet Revolver, Black Label Society, Rob Zombie's on there, and then the biggest one here that I think everyone is going to compare them to is Killswitch is on the same 2005 Ozfest. Dude, you cannot put Howard Jones up against really any metalcore vocalist.
I know. I know.
Like, if you want to compare like metalcore vocalists, Howard Jones is like topping.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I mean? So like, give like again, don't talk shit. These guys come from
I
the
know.
hardcore scene.
I
They
know.
come from freaking Buffalo, Northeast, where
Yeah.
like it is mean, it's aggressive.
Mhm.
Like people don't like they don't care. Like they're there to again take the mic, pile on, sing
Yeah.
along, all that kind of
And
stuff.
that's dude, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I can guarantee you that their set at Hellfest in February is gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
Like it's going to be dope because people aren't going to be there to hear stadium quality sound, right? Like you're going to go there and you're going to listen to them, play they're, hopefully they open with My Promise or something from like, their EP Forever Scorned. And it's just like going to be a bloodbath and people aren't going to care. Especially because right after that, you're going to hear some like slam band that's just going, the whole time. Like no one cares.
I don't.
So
I haven't looked at the Hellfest lineup,
I don't know
so
what it is.
that's
I don't know what
interesting.
it is.
Uh, but no, so continuing on with this album, just a couple more quick points. So, what are like some high points for you, or what are some like songs that like stood out for you? We already talked 6th of June. I really like Reignite the Fires immediately after. that goes just straight into that double bass breakdown right
Mm.
at the beginning, like super sick. The one
So,
thing I've
oh,
oh
sorry.
god,
Yeah.
I
No,
will
no, I
let
was
you
listening to
actually.
music, so I didn't really hear you. So go
Okay,
ahead.
the one thing about this album is I do feel like it was a little bit jumbled. I don't feel like they fully knew exactly the direction that they wanted to go with it. And I think that they were pulling from all aspects of metalcore at the time, because you go down all the way to the last song, Turn Loose the Doves, and it gives you almost like a Dragon Force vibe
Yeah.
when you listen to it, when it gets into the chorus and they get into the um where is it? It goes into the really fast, and then they do the whoa. Like it gives you like Dragon Force vibes and stuff. And I think I think maybe that's part of the issue with Sirens is it's a little bit bouncy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of like, there's a couple of the riffs that are like, it's funny you brought up Rob Zombie. You know, the riff that's like, dun, dun, dun,
Yep.
like,
Yep.
I don't know how to explain the riff. I'm trying to think of the song. Is it Sacred Heart that has it, or was
It
it?
is. It is. Because
It's very
that's
like Rob
also
Zombie metal, like industrial metal type riff, you know?
this is the song that was in Jennifer's Body.
Ah,
So
perfect.
like it makes sense, right?
Yeah, perfect. So, yeah, there were parts of that where I was like, "Oh, I don't really know." But then it would go into this like super awesome chorus and then a really sick breakdown that was like, that's like shockingly heavy, you know, heavier than it should be on this album. And like, I think saying jumbled is a very good call. But again, you know, just to reiterate, like, it's not bad. None of this stuff
Oh
is bad.
no.
Like, I could totally sit here and just listen to this album and I'm cool. And like you said, dude, 6th of June, it's a sick song.
It's a way sick song.
Anyone that doesn't agree with that is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
quit being a tough guy. Like, just listen to 6th of June and like, you know, put on a backwards hat without a shirt on and just
Right.
like listen to it, you know?
It's about 36 seconds into Sacred Hearts, and it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like 100%. And I think that part of this probably was influenced from being on Ozzfest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being there 2005 and then probably going from Ozzfest, you're probably writing riffs on the tour and then going to the studio to put this out in 2006. It came out in October, so
Yeah.
it was probably straight from Ozzfest to the studio,
Yeah,
you
probably.
know. So you probably had a lot of that kind of stompy, old man metal kind of stuff happening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
no, dope song. And then Lividity, the 2009 album. This is what we were talking about. I don't remember listening to this album a ton. I remember very little about this album. It's really good though. Like again, it's probably what you would expect in 2009, but in my opinion done better than a lot
Yeah.
of what 2009 did, but it's probably generic to what you would call metalcore at this time, right? You just have
Yeah.
kind of like high quality breakdowns, chugs. It's probably what drop C roughly in there, heavy double bass. I don't know, man. Like,
They have a few songs that are like, that have pretty interesting like southern riffs.
yes.
Is it Life of Uncertainty?
Uh,
Yeah,
I
it is. You
believe,
get like 30 seconds in and it's like
yeah,
like very so like we know we joke all the time about these bands and they're like getting into the southern
yeah.
metal and stuff. But okay, so to back up a little bit, uh doing this episode was the first time I listened to this album actually.
Okay.
And I didn't hate it. And I think looking at it from the point of view now, looking back, like I said before, is like I actually appreciate it a lot more. I would not and did not listen to this when it came out in 2009.
Sure.
I was listening to other stuff. Going back now, though, this stuff does just feel a little more mature than some of the stuff we were listening to in 2009 when we were 18. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I actually very much enjoyed this album. Like, it's not the heaviest, you know, but like the guitar play is like tight. and it just sounds well. The production, like from an album from 2009, sounded really great in my car. You know, the
Yeah.
singing, again, like I've said, it's not this like wimpy metalcore trying to sound like a girl singing. Like
Yeah.
it's just normal singing. It's a different vocalist, right?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
It's a different vocalist.
This is
And
the only album with him.
yeah, I'm glad that he like kind of stayed true to what the sound was,
Hmm.
you know, but it's solid, man. Like I have no issues with this album at all.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't know if anyone who was listening to this today who doesn't know the background of It Dies Today would actually notice the vocalist change.
Right.
Like you might just think that they recorded his vocals differently. Like that's how close or similar they kind of kept the style. But back to your point of like life of uncertainty, like we always talk about, like we're suckers for Southern. Um, when I say it's generic, though, this reminds me very much of Dead and Divine.
Okay.
This reminds me, like this song specifically reminds me very much of Dead and
Yeah.
Divine. And he says something about coursing through my veins. And that is a line that Dead and Divine uses in like 6 songs. And so, like, when you want to talk about like generic stuff, like it was a copy of like the lyrics that were coming out at the time, the type of styles in terms of like this little bit of Southern. It feels like it should go into a chaotic, but it keeps it in time and it just stays kind of true to, instead of like changing up the tempos and the rhythms, it's just straight through kind of thing. But it's a safe record. It feels like a safe record.
Yeah.
Like you could line this up, like if you told me this was your favorite 2009 album, I would be like, okay, like that's fine. Like if you're in
Yeah.
metalcore, it's one of the probably 12 that you could name as your favorite 2009 album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the way that it felt to me. And again, it's good. Like I sat there and I listened to this doing laundry last night and I was like, yeah, I'll listen to this. Like I don't
Yeah.
care if this
Yeah,
restarts.
dude,
Like it's
100%.
cool. Like it's all
Yeah.
good.
No,
But
exactly.
they wrap up, right? They do that and then they go on a hiatus. They do a couple of reunion shows, 2014, 2015. I think it's for the 10-year of Caitiff Choir is when they come back and do a few things. And then they quiet down again until 2024, 24 or 23.
20,
They
24, I believe. Yeah. Nah, 23, I guess, is the
it would
first
have
single.
been, well, I'm talking about when they get announced for Furnace Fest.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I don't know.
I think it's 23, right? Because we were there in 24 and It Dies Today was not playing in 24.
Okay. Yeah, it
Or
must have
did they
been.
play in 25? I don't know.
I don't know. Here, I can look it up.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. But
We should be thorough journalists, Trevor.
fair. That is fair. Uh 23.
Scrolling back. Going.
It was 23.
It's
They
23.
appeared in the 23 Furnace Fest and then they played the Blissmas 23 show in
Okay.
Buffalo. So, which was the first Better Lovers Christmas show.
Okay.
Um so they come back, right? They
Yeah.
come back and they put out Buried by Black Clouds. I love this song.
Mm-hmm.
I think this song is super sick. There's a band who I always talk about called Blind Witness out of Canada that was like on the verge of super heavy metalcore to deathcore. And that's what this song is. Super heavy metalcore to deathcore. Like this is Forever Scorned modernized.
Yeah. With cleans.
Did Black Cloud have cleans?
Mm-hmm.
There might be like a couple small parts, right? But for the most part, it's just aggressive, heavy in your face. There's not much clean to it.
Yeah.
And I love the layered vocals of the low and the high. Like that's the stuff that I absolutely love about this style. And I thought that this single was fantastic. I hope that they put a couple more songs out. Give us like a
Mhm.
4-song EP, 5-song EP. I'm good with that. Like you don't have to give us a ton, but the way that they did Buried by Black Clouds, absolutely phenomenal for
Yeah.
a modern version of It Dies Today.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like it's a modern song, but it holds true to their roots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you can tell the production's like way up on it from other stuff. And I actually think I think this is self-produced because it's Go
I'm
Bill's
sure it
music.
is at this point.
Yeah. But it just sounds real good. Like it doesn't sound over the top. There's still a bunch of heaviness to it. I think that like for a bunch of older dudes coming out like remaking music that like especially for a band like this, you couldn't really ask for anything better, you know? And it's hard. It's hard coming back for that long, right? I mean, golly, that's 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And to come back and still put out music like with these two singles that like make you miss the band, right? It makes you miss the band. It makes you think like, dang, like what could have been, Like I don't know. I hope they get new music. Both the singles are really good because even listening to Son of Dawn, like,
So that was actually they actually did write that in 2014. That's a
oh really?
updated version of their 2014 because they actually did in 2014 after they played their 10-year shows. Um, they actually came out and said we are in the studio and we're going to write a new album. And then a little bit later in like 2015, the vocalist was just like, dude, I don't know. Like, I can't figure it out. And I've got a family now. I can't figure it out. Like, we're not doing it. And
Yeah,
so, like, they couldn't. And you know what? Credit to them to not just put out some garbage thing in 2015 because they said they were going to put out something that actually means something to you. So if it takes you 10 years before you put something else out, like good on you. Like I'm all
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
So
That's a good point because
yeah.
a lot of bands would have just cut their losses and released crap.
And 100%, if you do that 10-year reunion, I mean, I didn't look it up, right? But I bet you that show popped off.
Yeah,
I thought they had some awesome shows. They probably felt very missed. They probably felt very loved. And they were probably like, we can do this again.
yeah.
And, again,
I
kudos.
don't know
I
what
mean,
that's
like,
like. Yeah, I don't. That's rough. Yeah,
so interesting that they did that. And I'm stoked, man, because like again, I think that song is fantastic. But on top of that, now we have the band Frozen Ground that Nick's
hmm
fronting that has I think the guitarist and then their current drummer who used to play with Census Fail, which is
Oh
pretty
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Um, And then it was funny. We were talking about Rhinoceros with Adam from Tacos, Rift Valley Tacos.
Uh
I'm
huh.
pretty sure that's their bass player. Like the guy
Okay,
from Rhinoceros is their bass player. So
dude, Frozen Ground's so good.
Frozen Ground's so good. So if you want to now like get out of the metalcore, go into a little bit more like the hardcore, what you would expect in the Northeast, like that hardcore crossover, Frozen Ground all day, man. So good. They
Yeah,
have an EP out, 5 songs. They've got a song featuring Pain of Truth. They've got a song featuring Missing Link, which those are two of the biggest like New York bands right now.
yeah,
And for them to give a little bit of credit to what It Dies Today did, in my opinion, is
yeah.
massive. Like,
That's what I was gonna say. Is like it'd be
yeah,
really interesting to ask like Pain of Truth or Missing Link and be like, "Did you guys listen to the guys today? Do you know where these guys come from, or like, like it'd be interesting to know what their
what their
perspective,
takes on
especially
it
like
were.
what."
What their takes on it were.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you said something about dicks. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Um, but yeah, it's like because the younger guys. I think I don't know
Yeah.
much about them, but like you think they're probably looking up to like just the incredible amount of ridiculous bands from New York. I wonder where if these guys are like, dude, the old guitarist from It Dies Today asked us to feature on a song. What they were thinking. I don't know. Be interesting.
Well, I mean, like, dude, what you just said in terms of like uh the amount of just crazy people that they've been involved with, like Missing Link, that Watch Me Bleed album, Eyes of the Lord featured on it, Gridiron featured on it, Trapped Under Ice, Crutch, like
Yeah.
they had some like big hitters. You know what I mean? and then to again their credit be like, yeah, we'll hop on the It Dies Today side project. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty funny because like look at it, Apple Music under Frozen Ground, it's like recommended artists or similar artists. It's like Missing Link, Bayway, No Cure, Painted Truth, Crush Your Soul,
yeah.
Gridiron. It Dies Today. And it's like, dude, like I'm cool with it, right? Like we should all be able to appreciate It Dies Today, but it's just like one of these is not like the other. So
That is funny. That is very funny. Um,
dude's probably like a bunch of these kids are gonna listen to Frozen Ground and hardcore Painted Truth feature on it and stuff, and then maybe they'll click into It Dies Today, and maybe they'll be like, "What is this clean vocals?"
it
I
would
don't
be
know.
interesting. It would be interesting to see if people got introduced to It Dies Today through Frozen Ground and what their opinions are.
Yeah,
Like, I'd actually be curious about that.
we'll have
So,
to make a post about that because I'm genuinely curious.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the people that listen to us know It Dies Today
I mean, that's
first.
the age group that we're in. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bunch of old
But
farts.
some of these young kids, who knows? But anyways, I don't know, man. I think that they were a underappreciated, undervalued band. I think that they got caught in that same period that we've talked about with a lot of these guys, where it's like they start looking around and they're starting to be like, who are these kids?
Yeah,
Why is the scene going in this direction? Like to go from a tour with Poison the Well to Aiden, like
yeah.
we talk a lot of shit on Aiden, right? But uh
They're
like
probably nice guys. I don't know.
I think they've been accused of
Oh,
some
really?
things.
Okay,
So
fine. Then we're
probably
gonna
don't
keep
say that. We can keep talking shit on them. Like uh,
allegedly because you're not about to
allegedly,
get sued by Aiden.
allegedly, yeah. I
This will be
mean,
your
dude.
last sunrise, Trevor.
Listen, man, I actually like some of Aiden's stuff. Like, I'm fine with
Yes.
it. Like, listen, they might be scumbags, but
You don't even know.
separate the
Quit
art
saying
from the artist, man.
that. You don't even know, dude. Quit saying that. I'm
Uh,
not. I wouldn't be surprised though. If there was one band, I
anyways,
wouldn't be surprised though.
anyways, I just think that they got caught in between. And I think that unfortunately, I think there was a couple of bands that just eclipsed what they had done, even though they probably had some of the superior music. And again, I'm
Yeah,
not going to name names, but the Caitiff Choir, it is a absolute gem of a metalcore album. And if you want like what early 2000s metalcore should be, that is an album to go turn on. Like
yeah,
if someone asked you, give me a 2000 early 2000s metalcore album, you could put that on and it hits every checkbox without question.
yep,
So
for sure.
fantastic.
Sick
Well,
man.
dope. This ended up going a little
Cool
bit
beans.
longer than I thought.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
So
I know.
dope.
All right.
Well,
Goodbye.
we'll be back. I think we'll have to see what next week is. But I've been talking to a couple people who I think that we can get on the pod. We'll have to see if that happens for this week or what the next plans are. Also, if you guys listen to Rip Valley Tacos, number one, go eat their tacos. But tell us if you like that episode.
Yeah,
Like,
because we would
I
like to
will
do more of stuff like that. So,
absolutely, without question. So
all right.
dope. All
Sounds
right.
good, man.
Peace.
Bye.